Welcome to the Dawg Chug, Roger. Whoa, you were
And
dressed up.
I,
How's it going today?
I'm on vacation this week. I thought you knew. I said it last week.
I don't read a lot of your DMs or listen to what you say.
Oh, well, I was supposed to be on vacation. I'm just relaxing. I guess I'm here. I might as well. You got a show planned and everything?
Dude, on even weeks you're on show prep.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I've been on vacation. I wasn't paying attention. So, all right, I guess I'll put on my work hat and let's go. I'm ready.
Usually,
I'll
usually
I'll
I'm
do.
hoping it'll be a good show and not a shit show, but like it's good that we figured out in the first minute this is going to be a shit show.
I'll do what I do every week, Andy, and I'll fill in.
Nice.
I'll jump in where I apply. How was your week, Andy? How was your
My
week?
was pretty good. I got to watch the Super Bowl by myself once again, just like the last pretty much 2 years. But did you know that one of our very own came all the way to Cleveland and got to have an amazing time this weekend?
I do recall seeing something about that. One or two maybe posts or something.
Because I want to live vicariously through Ed, who got to enjoy Super Bowl weekend. Let's see how good of a time he had this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Ed, how's it going?
What's up, Dawg Chuggers? How's it going? It's going great because it's me. It's E. I love me some me. Had a great time in Cleveland. Saw my buddy Nick Carnes. Saw Ross, our producer. Spent time with his family. Had a great time. Love his little son, Cooper. Had a great time with him. And actually, you know what? Cooper, he's going to be an entrepreneur. You know why? Because I looked at him. He looked at me when we were at the restaurant. I said, look, you want to earn some money? Shut up. And the kid looked at me. He's like, all right. Because I gave him a nice, crisp, I won't even tell you the denomination of dollars I gave that kid. But you know what? I heard he went to the store and already got something. So you know what that means? He's a spender. Maybe what Cleveland Browns should do this offseason, spend some money.
So did he shut up when you?
Well, I actually didn't put it in those terms. I shouldn't say that. I love kids. Not really.
I'm asking because if we pay you, will you shut up?
Probably not. That's the thing. I can't help myself. That's the kid's got more restraint than I got. So Ross is doing a good job as a father. And
I was so excited to bring you on and ask you all about your trip in Cleveland. Then as soon as you started talking, I wanted to send you right back into the green room.
Right back.
You know what? I had a fun time. You guys, you know what? Let's get some dirt. Okay, so I go over and I go to the Super Bowl party with Nick Carnes. Great time. Okay, but around his friends, and they're very, very serious into gambling. They tried to meet me, and they said, "Hold on, we're busy with this hand." And I thought to myself, telling me to hold on. Who are these people? So I wished everybody. I said, you know what? I hope you're all a bunch of winners. That's code for I hope you all lose your money because you don't tell me to hold on. You know.
What time did you get home from your trip?
Actually, you know what? I stayed over there. It was a great time. Those are great guys. I'm just joking. But I went over there around 2:00, and I stayed till about 5:30. And you know what? I was playing some Smash with Nick. Nick did a great job. I'm not too good on the sticks. I'm not gonna lie when it comes to those kind of games. But Nick took patience. He took the time out and he's showing me how to play with Robbie or Rob or whatever one of those characters are. And I'm smashing King Koopa and then having fun. He was one of the eggplant players. It was kind of cool. And I heard Nick won some money later on that night. So good job, Nick Carnes. So my good gracious paid off. But it was fun. But I thought to myself, I got to get home. I got to watch the Super Bowl. And I got home in time for the Super Bowl halftime, which was great.
So you actually
and then I fell asleep. I fell asleep till the final 2 minutes, and I woke up and I saw Joe Burrow get hit by Aaron Donald or whatever, and the game was over with.
So you were actually driving through half of the Super Bowl?
The first half, but I heard it was pretty boring. Besides OBJ's touchdown, then he got hurt. So I guess it wasn't boring. I don't know. Maybe I was saving myself the pain. I don't know.
Don't start with me, Ed.
I would kill to be able to go have fun at someone's house for the Super Bowl, and you just decided, I'm going to leave. I'm going to sit in my car and watch the game, listen to the game.
Right.
Well, let's just say, you would have stayed. You know why you would have stayed? Because it was up your alley. It was a bunch of degenerate gamblers.
So you weren't feeling very comfortable. So you just said, this isn't my scene.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't. I'm not a big gambler. I'm not a big card player because I'm too fidgety. Cards to me, you're restricted to a table. You're restricted to what the cards say. I like to talk, and then you don't show your hand. I gotta brag. Look what I got. I got a full house right here. I gotta tell people. I can't just be quiet with. Do I got a poker face?
You belong nowhere near a poker table. Probably a building that has gambling going on. You probably get shot if you gambled in the places I used to gamble in.
Also, this weekend you got to get pancakes with Munch, the great Munch.
Yes, Mark Munch Bishop. Catch him on WTAM 1100 AM. And he's been a friend. Was on 96.3 down here in Columbus. He was on ESPN Cleveland for some time too. But Mark Munch Bishop and him and my family have a great relationship. And so I wanted to see the madman, as he once was called down here. But and so I saw him at a pancake breakfast Sunday morning at St. Patrick's in Rocky River, off of Rocky River and Puritas. And Mr. Munch was there, and we had a great talk. And I introduced him to Roger First, who he has a particular take about Roger First.
He does not like me, but he does like Roger. He loves Roger. I have to ask a question. When the two of you are sitting down at a table together, is there any moment someone's not talking? Because you both kind of have the gift of gab.
Let's just say this. COVID restrictions would need to be in place when we're together because the spit is flying.
Wow. That sounds fascinating. I'm going to say goodbye for a second. We're going to bring Ross on real quick. Ross, I want to see if you could basically be more interesting than that last little segment. So why don't you paint some paint on your wall and we'll just watch it dry for the next 5 minutes. I think that would.
Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting. I mean, Ed was a pretty good visit. I mean, what I'll tell you is what you see on the Dawg Chug and what you see on Twitter is what you get in person. It's really not much different. It's like, I feel bad for Kelly because she probably hears him rehearse half his takes and then hears them again. On the various platforms, he's spitting his opinion out. He's got a lot of opinions, not just sports-related ones.
Yes.
I imagine.
Did he do anything, awkward? Did he put his foot in his mouth? Was there anything that you picked up on that you could entertain the audience a little bit by saying, this is what it's like to hang out with Ed in real life?
Yeah.
It's just nonstop. It's just, you think he would have a break from saying things, but he really just doesn't. It's kind of, my wife just was very impressed by it.
Wow.
He didn't put his foot in the mouth, meeting her, and oh my God, say something.
I'll tell you what though, we did play some catch outside in the cold weather, and he has a respectable cannon, I'll say. Would you have guessed that Ed in Columbus would be able to throw a football more than 20 yards?
Yeah, 20 yards isn't that much, but like 40, no.
Yeah, like 40. He's like Uncle Rico, pretty similar.
Wow.
Football over the mountains.
All right. Well, anything else to report about your little trip with Ed?
Nothing else besides that. I'm just telling you, the guy you see on here is the guy you get in person, and it's just hilarious the fact that he's like, we went out to lunch with him, and he always talks about being a little bit OCD. And he's just like straightening his silverware, cleaning up after my family when we're done eating, straightening the plates. Just like the waiter probably loved it, but it's just really funny because he's just so worried about everything being perfectly aligned.
Wow.
I can relate to that.
Well, next time you get the opportunity, make sure you get the video because I think that'd be funny to watch him get a little package of him.
I'll put a GoPro on my forehead.
All right. Well, thank you for that, guys. We're going to move on. One of the things that we do get criticized on the Dawg Chug, even though we're the best podcast in Cleveland, is that we don't actually get technical enough. I don't agree with this. I think we say a lot to say about the Browns, especially when we do spit, sip, chug and all the other various things that we do. But we do get that complaint. So I think the draft is only 9 weeks away or so.
Yeah, something like that.
So I thought it'd be pretty fun if me and Roger picked out a few players that we could highlight to our audience. I know this is a huge hit on the Barking Browns, so they like to, take some of our best segments. So maybe it's time we take some of theirs. I understand they just had Kelly is the best on, the great Kelly, and she was drinking, right? Roger, did you get a chance?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. I caught some of it while I was getting ready to. Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's time for us to profile a couple draft picks like they do and steal their bit. So the first guy we profiled, I'm gonna do. His name is Victor Sandberg. And he's actually a guy that probably not very many of you have heard of. He's very fast. He's athletic. He's intelligent. He has the closing speed, and he'd be the perfect guy to cover the entire field, playing safety in Joe Woods' defense. He takes great angles on the to bring down the ball carrier, and he's just going to be amazing. Now, the only knock on him is he's from Norway, and he's never actually played or watched a football game in his life. But man, he really has the stuff to make the transition. So
potential's there.
I hope we take Victor Sandberg this April. Roger, I believe you.
I do.
On a guy.
Yeah, I got a kid named Theodore Maynard, and Theodore, he's another guy probably not a lot of people have heard of, Andy, but he's a perfect answer quarterback. And if the Browns decide Baker Mayfield's plan B, he's tall in the pocket. He's 6'5". He's accurate. He can make all the throws. But his best quality and what his coaches rave about is probably his leadership ability. His teammates openly gush about him, how he pushes them to believe in themselves. He's like having a second coach out on the field and in the huddle, which is invaluable when you're in a 2-minute drill and the game's on the line. Maynard has every trait that you're looking for in a quarterback. He'd be the top pick in the draft, but the one issue he faces, and look, there's no such thing as a perfect prospect. No. Never, he took a brief pause on his college career to help out the family sewage inspection business before returning to get his degree. And now, at the age of 53, he might just be a tinge outside the age guardrails for Barry, if you believe in such a thing. But this is a guy to keep an eye on. Yeah,
that might be. I do hear he likes to draft, guys that are young. So 53 might be a little bit of a stretch.
But Theodore's got all the tools. He's experienced. Plenty of experience. He's a guy I'd keep an eye on.
Yeah, these guardrails, I think they're just, they help. They're a piece of the puzzle, right? Just because the guy's 53 doesn't mean you can't draft him. It's not a hard no. That's just a piece, and it might be working against him, but I think Maynard might be the guy.
Well, they're exactly what they say. They're guardrails. They're just guidelines. It doesn't mean you're not locked into it.
I think we take those guardrails a little too serious sometimes.
Right, something smash right through the guardrails. It happens.
Well, I'm really excited to talk about a guy that I did a lot of research on. Really exciting kid. His name's Matthew Bethea, and he's really a once-in-a-generation player. And if he's available, you just write his name down and you don't even think about it. Anytime you watch him, he's making catches nobody on the field is even capable of making. His route running is smooth, precise, and he makes adjustments on the balls you think are going to be impossible to catch, but then realize he somehow caught it. But at 4'6" and 73 pounds, he's a tad undersized, but he's only 11 years old. He still has time to grow into his body, and you can never start looking for the replacement for whomever the Browns drafted pick 13 in the 2032 NFL draft. As it's clear this kid is going to be a Hall of Fame player someday, and wouldn't it be nice to see him play in the brown and orange?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Who's next?
You did a profile. You said doesn't actually have a name yet.
Oh, no, I do. I saw Ed come on the screen. I thought he was coming in with one. You don't do a lot of work around here. He's traversing around Cleveland this weekend. I do actually. We're not actually sure what the name's going to be yet, but there's a track star, Yavon Ferguson, and former American Gladiator Nitro have narrowed it down to a couple when they announce. Andrew Berry, he's just going to want to write it down and ensure that the Browns are tanking in about 20 years because this specimen with the pedigree, like that will pretty much be able to do anything, including winning 15 Super Bowls without even having to try. Nitro. I mean, come on.
He was the best gladiator.
This fetus is only 13 weeks developed, but you can already see the smile and confidence. Of a true winner. This kid will have it all. And by the time he's playing football for us, we won't even have time for the nonsense and shenanigans because we'll be too busy talking about all of his accomplishments as he shatters every record in the books. I'm tickled with, I'm just, glee. I'm happy. I can't believe it. 20 more years.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it might be questionable to really consider a fetus, that far down the road. But analytics is making you think different. It's changing the way you think, and I for one am all for it. You gotta consider these guys.
Look at the pedigree, though. I mean, Yavon Ferguson and Nitro.
Guys, I got a special guest. He was listening, and you know what? When you guys were reading the fetus, he says, "Yo, motherfucker's crazy." He appreciated it, though. He had good luck. Actually, two of the four prospects and crew, I think they might go with them in the late rounds. The late rounds are possible. So I think you guys did your homework. Good job with that, guys. I just want to say the fetus, though. I think we're projecting it a little too far, but Andrew was saying about the guardrails, it's going to fit. He'll make it work.
There's no such thing as too early. You got to put the work in, man. You got to put the work.
Right.
Well, that's a hardworking team in Berea, and they appreciate what you guys are doing. That you guys are great fans.
They've been watching Archie Manning. They've been watching Archie Manning since he was a fetus, the kid that's getting ready to go to college. They've been watching that kid since he was a fetus, so why not, right?
You know what? Hey, as much as we've struggled the last 20-some years besides 2020, hey, let's go for it.
Well, Ed, I'm glad you're back on because it's time for the second edition of Ed School. For anyone that missed last week, I'm going to bring Ross on too. We really want to make Ed a star. He's clearly not talented at all, but we believe we can develop him. So every week that you get better, as long as you're improving, we're going to continue this stupid bit. We're going to have you on. We're going to ask you a question, and the three of us are going to judge your answer based on how succinct you are, your speaking ability, and how logical we can follow your argument. All right. You did a great job last week. You scored a 77. So if you could do better than 77 this week, we'll do this again. And over time, we're going to develop you into a talent that's so good that you probably won't even do the Dawg Chug anymore.
I'll be a regular Aristotle.
All right. So are you ready? I'm going to
ready.
get my timer ready because part of judging how you do
after the question or the time.
I'm gonna as soon as you start talking, I'm gonna start the timer.
Okay.
All right. So the Bengals have Joe Burrow signed for 2 more years plus a team option. So within the next 3 years, will they be back to the Super Bowl? Go.
Well, in the AFC with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, even Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns, it's a tough landscape out there. The Bengals went on a magical run this year, and it was fun. I'm a Browns fan, but I even got caught up with the Houday Nation living in Columbus a little bit. Do I think they can? Absolutely. Do I think they will? Probably not. So that's my answer. And you know what, though? You know who's going to go to the Super Bowl next year? The Cleveland freaking Browns. Let's go.
All right. So he clocked in at 28.81 seconds. Ross, we're going to start with you. What would you give him on succinctness?
Yeah, succinctness.
You don't even know what the word means.
I'm giving him a 5.
Of course.
Mute Ed in Columbus so he can't sway the judges. All right. Okay, we gave him a 5. Roger?
I'm with Ross. I'm going to go 6. I'll give you a 6. I think you stumbled there at the end, though.
Yeah,
a little stumble. It wasn't pure Ed. It wasn't. I don't know. I'll give you a 6, Ed. You got to work harder.
Jessica says that was quite possibly the most chill Ed answer she's ever seen, which
Maybe that was it.
probably true. I am going to also give you a 6 on this because I think you had a good answer, and then for some reason you kept talking, which I think is part of your problem.
Yeah.
You kind of finished
the ending.
All right, now we're going to do how logical is your argument, and I'll start with this one. I think you didn't really have a lot of meat on the bones. You just said that you brought up that the AFC is going to be a crowded, but you didn't really talk about the Bengals at all, which I think was a big miss. He's getting mad now, so I'm going to give you a 7 on that one. Roger,
I'm going to stay with it. He's got a 6 on that. It was too general, just too broad. No detail. It was just like he was reading a news report about a fetus.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 3 because how many times have you heard people make those same exact takes about the AFC? Oh, Josh Allen's good. Oh, Mahomes is good. I mean, he threw a curveball saying Baker was a threat, but I mean, if I know Ed, that was all fluff.
It was fluff
for the Baker Bros. He was trying to get the Baker Bros to follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't really like how you were trying to say like the Browns are going to be back. It seemed like you were just, trying to buy our love. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I want your argument to stand on its own merit. So finally, what's the last one? How well spoken was he? And Roger, we're going to start with you on this one.
Actually, because he was so chill, I'm going to give him an 8 because usually he's talking about 180 miles an hour, and you can't understand. I get like every 4 words from Ed. So I was able to actually understand him because he was chill and talking. So I'm going to give him 8. I think he did well with that.
Yeah, I actually was going to give him a 10 on this one, so I am going to give you a 10 on this one. You were very well spoken. You were even. You had a nice tone to your voice. I did kind of wish you hadn't carried on when you should have finished. Yeah, however, I already docked you points for that, so I'm just going to give you the 10. It's mostly out of pity. Ross?
I think I've been watching a lot of Olympics lately, and the way they score, they just don't give out 10, so I'm giving him a 9. As close as I can to perfect. I do appreciate that he actually said a sentence without ending it early like he always does. When he's cutting him, Ed talks so much that he cuts himself off, but it didn't happen right there.
He does. He interrupts himself.
That's a 12 personalities.
Hey, Ed, I want you to know I shaved a point off of every category because you didn't play my video, and I know it's these two are jealous, but that's all right.
I did see that Russia gave him a 7.
They got busier problems with Ukraine later on in the week, so I don't know what the hell they're doing.
So basically, though, how do you think you did this week?
I think I did awesome. I think I did awesome.
Well,
of course you did.
Of course I did. Absolutely.
Say otherwise. They actually say you scored a 60 out of.
You're missing a judge. I think there was another judge last week.
Nope. There's the 3 of us. You scored a 77 last time. So unfortunately, we're not going to continue this next week. So that'll save everyone like 3 minutes.
School's out for summer.
Yeah. But we'll come back to this at some point because I do want to develop you into an actual talent.
You're just giving up on me. It's just like that. Just giving up. If this was Baker Mayfield, after 2 weeks, you're just going to give up on him?
Ed, we're pinning it.
Okay.
Pin it.
All right. I'm going to say goodbye to Ed. Thank God. And Ross, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, Roger, I want to ask you, what did you think about that Super Bowl? We haven't talked about it. We don't really talk about football on this dumb show, but what did you think about it?
I don't know. Andy, I mean, I didn't think it was that good of a game. I wasn't, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it wasn't hyped. I didn't feel the hype all week going into it that you usually feel. It was just it felt like a regular game. The halftime was the best part of it. I'm old, so I appreciated Snoop and I appreciated all that.
I agree. Halftime show was great. It was stripped down. It was like they didn't overproduce.
Exactly.
The music and we're older. We love that music.
I'll tell you what I was kind of blown away by was the just the beating down of Cleveland throughout the telecast, and maybe that's what turned me off and put me in a bad mood. And I started flipping through channels during the damn Super Bowl.
Wow!
Because of these clowns announcing the game. You got a guy that's 148.
I get that you're, there's a lot of things to beat up Cleveland about. We've been our own worst enemy. We've made a lot of mistakes, obviously, but what they were saying wasn't even remotely true. That is not what happened.
No, it wasn't even near the facts. It wasn't even close to the facts.
It felt like they were just pandering to make it a great story instead of being honest. And I love Al Michaels. He's one of my favorites. It was hard to hear that. So
I think he's ready to be put out the back. You know what though? Napoleon said that history's but a fable agreed upon. And when you're a star like Odell Beckham, and not a football star, but he's an Instagram star and a TikTok, whatever. It has nothing to do with football. He hasn't really been good at football in 6 years. But it's just a fable agreed upon. And, he gets to tell the story. They get to tell his story the way they want to. And that'll become history. That'll become the fact. And it's just what happens.
Well, I think Ed had a comment he wanted to say. Ed, make your comment.
Yeah. Okay. So about the Super Bowl and the coverage on Cleveland. So what does Art Modell, OBJ, and Ed in Columbus have in common?
What?
When you leave that dumb city of Cleveland, you become a winner.
Oh my God. I apologize to our 5 people watching this. All right. Well, anyway, we were both a little irritated by the whole commentating situation. So we decided we had to act. We actually are, Ross and Ed helped with this. We went out and looked for like every time the great Al Michaels and Collinsworth were on a podcast or interviewed, or when they did their commentating, and we really looked to see if they had any other weird thoughts that were, not quite true. And we found a couple. We prepared a couple. We want to show our audience that's not just Cleveland that they're doing spin. There's other things they're doing as well. So this is interesting. There's a lot of controversy right now with Brian Flores suing the league, and Al Michaels actually commented on this on a local podcast. He had a pretty interesting comment. I think, Ross, you found this one, so let me bring you on.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting one. I didn't know he was that outspoken about this stuff because he's not the color guy.
Right.
So this is what he said. The NFL doesn't actually have an issue with hiring minority coaches at all. 58% of the players are black, so they're actually proving how diverse they are by ensuring the coaches, GMs, and owners are all white.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's dumber than the OBJ thing, right?
Definitely dumber. That's just...
these guys are such shields for the NFL. They have to protect it at all costs. But I mean, that's so ridiculous. I don't even know why they would say that.
Do they know they work for NBC? I mean, come on. They got to have some kind of training on this stuff.
I think he's going to be working for Amazon here pretty soon from the rumors.
Yeah, geez.
But anyway,
is he delivering packages or
what's that?
Never mind. I said, was he going to be delivering packages or what's he?
Amazon packages. No, I think he's going to be part of the Amazon football coverage. I think he's going to be commentating.
That's a shame.
All right. Well, Ed found a pretty good comment where Collinsworth was actually talking about the MLB lockout. And Ed?
Yeah, he actually slid over Collinsworth and said this. He said, the MLB lockout isn't actually about money at all, but protecting fans since it's been proven that mass mandates don't work. Like, come on, Chris.
That's ridiculous. It's absolutely about money. That's
former Bengal. I mean, what a loser.
And it doesn't even make sense. Baseball's played outside. COVID is not being spread outside right now. Yeah, that's a bunch of nonsense.
That's nonsense.
Let's see. Do we have any more?
Actually, I found something.
Yeah, you're right about the whole drama between Kyler and the Cardinals.
Yeah. You want me to?
Let's all right. Was this Collinsworth or was this Al Michaels?
This was I don't have it on here. I think it was Collinsworth. Yeah. Everything between Kyle Murray and the Cardinals is perfect right now. There was a small issue between Kyler and cancerous problem child Larry Fitzgerald, who the team promptly fired, and it's been a case of addition by subtraction. As the team is more confident than ever, they'll be ready to fire off a championship season. Is that
cancerous problem child? Larry Fitzgerald has like the best reputation in the league, and he didn't He wasn't fired. He quit.
They're spit. They just can spin anything. These guys.
Oh, the nerve of these guys.
Hmm.
I'm starting to not feel quite as bad about the whole OBJ comments. I'm being honest. Actually, we're going to unfortunately have to bring Ed back on. You found something out about the controversy. I don't know if everyone's heard.
Yeah, fill everybody in.
Controversy about they apparently found some documents in our former President Trump's commode, as if he was trying to, destroy documents. So they actually talked about this for some reason.
Al Michaels was talking about it, but I just got to say it's probably fake news trying to make it a huge story, but it probably wasn't. I mean, the whole story's nothing. I mean, that's what he was saying. It's like, it looks like the man eats food twice a day and he was out of toilet paper, so he used some TPS cover pages. It's no biggie. When I was over at Ross's house, I had a similar situation. I couldn't find anything, so I just used Ross's cat. I mean, we got to use what you got.
Oh my God. I don't know if I'm more disturbed by how dumb the comment was or that he used Ross's cat to wipe his butt. That's disgusting.
That's poor cat.
There might have been a lot of drinking that was involved when we were planning tonight's show, so I apologize for that. Finally, we have one more quote. This is interesting. They actually commented on our very own Dawg Chug. They talked about our show, which is awesome. Ross found this. They were talking about Cleveland podcasts. Ross,
yeah, as much as people like to critique Collinsworth as being annoying, he always does his homework. So he listens to a lot of Browns podcasts, try to get a feel for the fan base. Apparently he stumbled upon ours. I don't even know why. And he knew about all the free Ed, fire Ed thing. He had something to say, but Ed wasn't fired from the Dawg Chug. He quit after having a diva reaction to being listed third member of the show, and then immediately begged to come back, and the other members showed pity on him. Wow.
Well,
I mean, I gotta be honest. That's actually what happened.
That's right. Chris Collinsworth nailed it.
No,
right
no,
on.
He did. Did he also nail when Aaron Donald was offsides? I'll say one thing about Chris Collinsworth. For being a Bengals, former player, he seemed like he was OBJ lover. Him and Michaels. That's kind of weird and sickening.
It was weird. Anybody that loves OBJ is weird. They're all weird. They're a bunch of weirdos.
It's like one-handed catches.
Look what I found in Cleveland.
We should have scrapped this bit and just
took pint glass.
Look what I found in Cleveland. You could win one, Andy. How can people win one?
Well, you can win one by chugging 5 beers in 1 minute, and if you can do that, we're gonna send you a Dawg Chug. You have to be the first person to do it. So far, we've had a lot of interest, but no one has said I want to do it. So we're still waiting. It's gonna be amazing to watch.
Maybe that's good for America, though, because if there were like 1 million people that could do these, it's like, what does that really say? Maybe during the COVID, lockdown and shutdown, people got a bunch of alcoholics. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a good thing we don't.
We might have to lower the bar at least to get runaway and somebody chug a beer or something just to get some traction.
Pretty soon we'll have chug half a beer in a minute.
Yeah, back in my day when we could chug. I mean, come on, America, step your game up.
All right. Well, thank you for finding those amazing quotes. Once again, I don't feel quite as bad about the OBJ comments, but I think right now it is time to bring on our wonderful guest this week, and we have a special one for you. We're going to bring on a guy that he's been throwing these awesome awesome. What's it? Tailgates. Jeez.
Tailgates. Yes.
Sorry, I am on some cold medicine today and just not thinking clearly. Tailgates. He throws these amazing tailgates for charity during the off season. So it's an amazing time that we can all get together and have fun. The Dawg Chug is actually going to be appearing at the next event, which is in the second week of May. I always get the date wrong, so I'm not going to say it.
He can plug all that. Yeah.
So anyway, come see the 4 stupid members of the Dawg Chug at this tailgate, and thank you so much for putting these together. That's awesome. What a great cause. Why don't you let us know a little bit about these amazing tailgates?
Thanks, guys, for having me today.
Absolutely.
I love your show, by the way. And you see my little self-promotion here, a little Top Dog Tailgate at that's Third and Summit. Right. A little self-promotion today, but I'm glad to be on the show, and we have a little charity tailgate in May because, obviously the Browns we don't have any tailgates for the postseason, so we had to come up with alternative ways to entertain ourselves in the off season, because this past season was terrible.
This was a rough one.
To be honest about it. So, anyways, our tailgate's on May 14th. It's in the W.J. Green Lodge in Berea, and we have an alcohol permit, which is good. And
wow.
we expect about,
of course,
300 people, and we're doing a full throttle tailgate. So, if you want to get drunk and pass out on the side, you can. If you want to play cornhole, you can. You want to adopt a dog, you can. We're having about 4 to 5 dogs from City Dogs Cleveland coming down and for adoption. And we have a couple of talent, I can't mention their names, from 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland. They're supposed to come to our tailgate event, but you know how that goes. What people say and what people do are two different things. Kind of like the Browns, right? Exactly. Would you say that's accurate?
That's very accurate.
Very accurate.
We're also having a thing called Podcast Mania, which we're going to have 10 to 12 podcasts there, so everyone can network and talk to each other, meet friends, and talk podcasts, talk Browns. It's kind of like a mass group therapy session, because we're so dejected from the season because it was just awful. Watching that Super Bowl was awful, and I just hope that with this tailgate we can all bring our spirits back up for a good cause and meet new friends.
That sounds
all
awesome,
right, man.
I'm excited to prank all the other podcasts that'll be there, because that's how we like to interact with people.
I was wondering if there's going to be a Baker Bros versus Baker Haters debate.
That would be. I would pay to watch that. That'd be great.
Yes, that would. That's front row. I want front row seats to that.
Yeah, we're gonna have complimentary beer. The food's gonna be top notch, and it's just gonna be a good time. Last year was our first official year doing it. We had about 120 people, and we had some ringers come for cornhole. And you know what happens when people bring ringers, right? They just mop up the competition. So this year, I'm trying to, smooth out the playing field. So we're gonna have random partner cornhole, so you don't know who your partner is going to be. Because last year we got these, I don't know where they imported them from, but they came up, they just mopped everyone up 21-0. It was just like they brought their own bags, they had their little chalk in their hands. I mean, it was just very,
wow.
Yeah, it was not too good there. So we're trying to make it fun for everybody, so no one feels dejected and wants to jump off the 480 bridge.
Damn it! I was bringing Nitro. He was going to be my cornhole partner.
Well, you know what?
Well, there goes that.
We do only have. I mean, it's a little lodge, and we have I would say about 205 spots remaining, because there is a capacity. So I tell people, if they really want to go, I mean, don't wait the last second, because we got to provide food and beer, which is pretty big task for 300 people. So, I don't want 600 people showing up the day up, because they'll be shut out. So if they're interested, just, they can just send me a message. We're doing a few events this summer too. I'm trying to bring Browns Twitter and Browns World together, because, we don't go to the postseason often. So we got to find things to do in the off season to keep our hopes up. So we're trying to do a kickball event in June. If Jarvis Landry stays, we got that big tailgate with Nats tailgaters for the softball game too. So we're just trying to find ways to have fun, because this past season wasn't fun.
No, it wasn't.
No, and if you're going to get the Baker Bros and the Baker Haters in the same room, you better have some security, because they've been going at it, and there's some nasty things being said. Keyboard
I'm not a Baker
warriors.
Bro or hater. I just want the Browns to win.
Right, exactly.
What's your take on Baker?
I mean,
everyone has.
If Mullins was the answer, I don't care. But my one thing for that debate between the Baker Bros and Baker haters is that we're on our 5th year with Baker. So if you're on your 5th year with your quarterback and he's not your franchise quarterback yet, he's probably not going to be. I hope he is, but we're on year 5 trying to figure out if he's a quarterback. These guys aren't young, and I don't want to waste talent like Denzel Ward and Chubb and Garrett, because our window is going to be closing soon, and Chubb's in his 5th year, and what's he going to do? Go 7-8 years, and we don't know if we have a quarterback or not. I mean, I don't want to see these guys leave and win championships with other teams.
They got to figure this out, and they got to figure this out now.
Yeah.
I mean, that Super Bowl was just like, I was listening into your show there. I mean, I thought the Super Bowl was like, yeah, it wasn't exactly the hype about it. I think it's just the whole LA thing. I was rooting for the Bengals myself because, not just because, Burrow's like a clean cut kid. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong in his life. Maybe he's done like a right on red, maybe at a stoplight, but he seems pretty clean cut. I was just rooting for the Bengals because it's an underdog story like the Browns. Like, they're just like the Browns. No glory. The last time we won a division was what, 1989?
So
the last time we had a playoff game at home was what, 1995? I mean, we have no room to talk. So I was hoping for them. Then you have the aspect of the Rams. They were moved from St. Louis. So I kind of felt bad for the St. Louis fan base because you know how the bottom dollar talks. They were the St. Louis Rams and they just moved up for, glitz and glamour and new fancy stadium. They didn't mention one time about St. Louis fans at all during that telecast. And that was kind of sad because those Rams fans, they must have been heartbroken too.
Yeah. That had to have been difficult.
And yeah, Burrow, he looks like a clean cut, but he's from Athens. There's some cow tipping. I heard he got a cow drunk and tipped it once.
Yeah,
he's not as clean cut. He's not as clean cut.
I don't know what you do down in Athens, but it seems like a nice, small little town. But they're talking about the.
I went to college there, and I can tell you it was a fun time.
It's a great town.
And it helps.
Probably lots of moonshine down there, no?
I think I tried moonshine twice in my entire 5 years, and it was
Hey, Roger, you drink moonshine?
I've had it, yes. I'm not. It's not a regular. I don't consume it regularly. I'm
always doubtful, or I think about things that I could put in my car to start, and I'm actually drinking it. I'm like, well, probably not a good idea, right?
Depends if someone's filming you while you're doing it or not.
It's they don't.
This one guy, he brought some moonshine up at the last tailgate, and he said I could put it in my Chevelle. I'm like, okay. So he said, take a sip of this, and I'm like, all right. Next thing you know, I had to take a TV timeout and sit down for about 5 minutes. It was pretty potent.
Sounds like you couldn't go to OU.
I've had it, but yeah, I'm a beer guy.
I actually went to University of Connecticut and
nice.
UConn, nice, huh?
Before I moved over to Ohio. So I actually been living here now 12 years now.
Wow.
Welcome.
Did you have any connection with the Browns before you moved here?
Yeah.
No, I just like the Browns.
You just like the Browns, huh? Even when you were in Connecticut growing up, or is it when you got to Cleveland? It's just like your whole life?
To make it, I could talk a lot, so get ready for this. Make a long story short, my dad was a Browns fan, and he grew up not here, but he grew up in Connecticut, and he was a machinist. He worked at Bridgeport, if you know what that is. And he liked blue-collar cities because they were like him. So he didn't like the Steelers, so he picked the Browns. So I've been punished my whole life. So we listened to them on the radio and stuff like that. And, they were kind of like relevant in the 80s, good but not good enough. And then in the mid-90s when they moved, it was kind of sad because I had Hartford Whalers season tickets. So the Browns moved and won a championship. And the Whalers moved to Carolina and they won a championship. So I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
So I have a sister. She went to Case Western in 2000. And I was like, wow, this is a good time to check out Cleveland. So I went to my first Browns game in 2001. I think it was against Houston. And my first tailgate experience was kind of unique. It was on the docks. They don't do that anymore because I think a car was manual transmission and ended up in the lake. So they don't do that no more down there in the docks. And I was driving down, I just drove all night, 600 miles, me and my friends in a Maxima, no hotel, no nothing. Just went to the game and, these guys said, hey, you want some wild turkey? I'm like, what the heck is wild turkey? So I drank wild turkey, had a hamburger, and I was hammered.
It
was the greatest day of my life. I sat in the pound. Yeah. Some guy named, remember Andre Davis, the kick returner?
Yes.
Number 87. So he ran a kickback that game. So that's one of those games.
Yeah, I remember that game. I was there with my grandpa, who I didn't really get to see a lot in my lifetime. So, and I was so mad at him because he was just saying, "There's no way we're going to win this game" the entire time, and he was so negative. And I'm just like, "We're going to win," and we did. And I was like, "See." Anyway,
so what? What's kind of funny is that on the way to my first tailgate ever, I'm driving down West 3rd in Summit, right? And I'm passing the Blue Bridge, and this is 2001. And I look at all these tailgaters, they got the 55-gallon drums out there with, the fire going on there. And I said, hey, man, these guys are badass. These guys on their bridge. So 20 years later, now I'm under the bridge.
Beautiful.
Not a Chili Peppers reference, but, it's kind of funny that I said that. Yeah. Now I'm under the bridge. But,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ed had a question for you as he was listening to you talk. Ed?
Yeah, I appreciate your knowledge of the Cleveland Browns because, when you say like 1989, their last division championship, obviously the AFC Central, then you said 1995. I totally appreciate that because these younger cats from, 1999, they don't understand how the Browns used to be good. So my question to you is, who do you like better? And this is a tough one for me, Nev Chandler or Jim Donovan? Because they're both great.
I like Jim because of the fact that I think that if your cat got ran over, he'll still find a way to be happy.
You're right. It's so funny. I always thought that about Nev Chandler. I liked it. Maybe it's more nostalgic because he actually called winning games and the Browns were better.
I mean, this guy's been calling the worst of the worst. I mean, my dad and I talk about this all the time. It's like the Browns have to win soon because they found every way to lose. So there's no way else to lose. So we got to start winning games. Right? So Jim Donovan's been calling this, I'm not allowed to swear on this, am I? But this crap show.
Oh, shout out to Always Positive Jay. Always Positive Jay's watching. Shout out to Always Positive Jay. Whose birthday, 40th birthday, will be during May 14th festivities, I hear.
Well, maybe I have to give him a 40 ounce of the cheapest booze I can find. 40 ounces for 40 years. Yeah, we have a few birthdays that month, so it's gonna be interesting though. But I like to get people off the computer screen in person. So many people have these personalities on Twitter. I just want to see what they're like in real life. So
hey, I don't hide myself.
We just found out.
Me either.
That's Ed.
That's why our tailgate there, we always call it the first ever Browns Twitter hub because we have people all over from Browns Twitter coming to our tailgates during the regular season. I think it's that because of the food, because we're foodies. Because how tailgating evolves, right? When you're younger, you just want to get hammered and, it's whatever, get through the game. And, now it's like, oh, cool. So, like the 0-16 season and the, 1-15 season, you just wanted to get hammered. I mean, there's no reason to go down there. I was just like, okay, now that we have talent on the team, you're like, wait a minute. Oh, there's a game too? So that's a bonus. Before it's just like, oh man, how am I going to get to work the next morning? But now it's like, oh, cool. We got to go see this game.
I still only want to get hammered, and I'll be 44 in June, but yeah.
Hey, you get all your hair though.
Yes, somewhat. Are you?
You're not doing the comb over.
Do you have a beverage right now by any chance?
Me right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I'm an educator, so I teach kindergarten.
Nice.
So
awesome.
So what I'm going to make the reference is kindergarten is like tailgating. Okay, it's controlled chaos. People walk into my classroom and they're like, okay, some kid's picking their nose, the other guy's trying to do a roundhouse kick to somebody, all sorts of mayhem. And so it's kind of like, tailgating down the lots. You see all sorts of stuff. It should be able to have a little bit of order and control about it, So that's the only reason why I'm not hammering them down, because I love beer.
All right. Well, on May 14th.
What's your first name? You want me to call you West 3rd?
Well, the funny thing was I was trying to type into West 3rd and it comes up as W3R. I missed the D there, because one of my students was jumping on my laptop today. So I think the D is broken, but my real name's Eric, but most people call me the Cube or Ice Cube for Gerald McNeil. It's my favorite player.
I'm gonna go with the Cube. You're the Cube from now.
Yeah, now that I'm a little bit older and a little bit heavier, I'm more like Iceberg, but I still get Ice Cube is
I can relate.
Two of the cold ones.
I can relate.
All right. Well, we're going to play one of our famous games on the Dawg Chug. This is a little game called Spit, Sip, Chug. Obviously, you're not going to be chugging, but you can.
Hey, you know what? Hold on a second. I can drink one beer.
All right.
Yeah, have a beer. We'll wait for you.
Okay, just one. Hold on 1 second, all right?
Just one.
Yeah, go ahead.
In fact, I forgot to bring beer over here before we started the show, so I've been stranded. So I'm going to go get a beer too.
Hey, well then I'm going to talk to the crowd. You know what I love, guys? Yeah, do you know what I love?
What do you love, Roger?
When I hear a story like Eric's, a guy that did from Connecticut, you know, and his dad loved the Browns, and he started to love the Browns. You know how easy it is for people like that? I'm from West 69th Street. Ross is from Parma. You're from North Olmsted. Andy's from out on the east side. We have no choice. For somebody from Connecticut say, fuck them Browns, I'm going to be a Patriots fan, or I'm going to, you know what I mean? He's right there. He's in the neighborhood. But he stuck with it. And I love to hear stories like that. I really do. You know, that's a fan, you know.
Shout out to Cody Grimm, who's watching.
All right.
He says the Browns, when you have a good front office like the Browns, the window's always open. I believe that as well. But I do think when you have generational talent like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward and stuff, you don't want to waste it. So I understand our guest's opinion about that. And I think you're both correct. You're both correct. But at the same time, I want to start winning now because, hey, getting hammered is fun, but winning and being hammered is even better.
It's true. And speaking of there might be Cody Grimm might be joining the Dawg Chug next week. So
okay. All right.
So we're gonna play Spit Sip Chug. It's a very simple game. I'm gonna make a statement, and if you strongly agree with it, you are going to chug your beer. Just do a simple chug.
Just a little sip. Yeah, I mean,
a healthy sip. Then you're gonna explain why. If you are tepid about it, you're gonna say you sip, and you're just gonna take a little sip. And if you strongly disagree, you're gonna say you spit. And you're gonna explain why. So
you can mock spit. Yeah, you know, Andy spits.
Yeah, there's like a big puddle going on right here. It's pretty gross.
It's been there since week 1.
Wow.
All right.
So spit or swallow. I didn't know this was that kind of show.
Yeah, it's
he went from can we swear to pornographic
yeah.
Just like that. I love it. All
right, you know, it's St. Patty's Day is coming around the corner there, so
my son Henry will be 2 on St. Patrick's Day.
Wow. What are you drinking right now?
This is a Conway's Irish Ale.
Nice.
And, I said 1, maybe 2. You know, hey, we'll see how it goes.
All right, let me ask you this. Before we get to our fun game, who has better beer, Connecticut or Cleveland?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. When I came to Ohio and I moved here, I'm like, damn, they really love beer around here. So I see all these. Okay, I think it's probably a part of the Browns too, because we need therapy sessions. But I never seen so many microbreweries and breweries around. And now finally, after 12, 15 years, Connecticut's like, you know what, we can make money on this. So we start seeing breweries in Connecticut. But hands down, Ohio. Ohio's got better beer.
Oh, you guys had a Sam Adams up that way forever.
Yeah, but that's kind of that's kind of a yuppie. I mean, I'll drink them too, but yeah. Sam Adams is not bad. Their Oktoberfest is trash, though. It's terrible.
That is true. Yeah. All right. So our first statement we're going to go with is free agency is 4 weeks away. And once again, AB will be making a big time splash as he's done the past 2 seasons. And West Third, sorry, what did you say your name was? Eric?
Ice Cube? Yeah, Eric, what do you want to call me?
Eric, let's start with you. Will we be making a huge splash in free agency?
I'm going to take a little sip on that. Maybe, can I take 2?
Sure. You can take as much as you want.
Sure.
Well, I got plenty of beer. So, anyways, I don't think that they're going to, I think they're kind of got the Dolan mindset, which I'm kind of afraid of. They're going to spend money frugally, not just not go over the top. So they're going to make some, they're going to fill positions of need, but they're not going to go too splashy, which I'm kind of afraid of too, because, you need stars. I need impact stars. I don't want a roster that you get from the Dollar Tree. That's like the Indians are doing. Oh, sorry, Guardians or whatever you want to call them. I think they're just going to get a bunch of players that fill in positions and, try to go through the draft, which is fine too, but you need stars. And that probably leads to Jarvis Landry. Everyone talks about, he's making $14-15 million a year. Hey, not my money. So, you know what? You need to keep stars around because, you know what? If you're not paying anybody ever, then no one's ever going to come here. You have to overpay to come to Cleveland. So I think you need a star or 2 here. So right now, I think, they're just going to fill positions in need, not big time splashes.
All right. I am going to spit on this one. I think that our biggest positions of need, obviously, are defensive end and wide receiver. And I just don't know that guys are going to want to come to Cleveland unless you insanely overpay for them. And I don't think Andrew Berry is the type of general manager that's going to overpay for anyone.
Nope.
So I feel like they're going to try and build more through the draft, and they're going to bring in, 1 year, short-term depth type players. I think they'll definitely address wide receiver, but no one super substantial in my opinion. We're not going to have that Josh Johnson the third type of announcement day one. So
he's got to feel like crap right now, that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, I left the Rams to come to Cleveland. Wait a minute. Hey, at least he's getting paid, right?
Roger,
you know what? I'm going to sip on it. Spending big for them, I always take into account the Paul DePodesta and his idea. If you got a defensive end like they had, like last year, Hickerson, the guy that was, the free agent Bud Dupree, and these guys that were getting 15, 17 million, they're going to say, we're going to get 2 guys, pay them to combine 13 million that can do, one edge rusher is good off the end, one's a run, stuffer, or can play the run, conceal the edge. They're going to find 2 players cheaper that can do what the one guy can do. And that's what DePodesta did with Moneyball, and that's what that whole Moneyball thing was about, was finding the talent that can do what that one superstar can do. We'll get 2 guys that can do it, and we're going to pay 2 guys, and it'll be cheaper to do that. And that's kind of what they did with Jadeveon Clowney and bringing him in, and with Tack. They brought in 2 defensive ends that had different skill sets, but combined, they had the same skill sets as the top notch defensive ends. And that's the way the Cleveland Browns operate. They're not going to, like John Dorsey, we're not going to spend like drunken sailors. And what does he do? He goes out and sells the farm for a wide receiver too and pay him $15 million. And
I want to do a show where we just have you rant about John Dorsey and OBJ for like 45 minutes. I think that would be hilarious.
I had to bring it in.
All right. We're going to move on to question or statement number 2, not a question. Drafting a wide receiver at 13 would be a mistake because he doesn't have a Joe Burrow. He won't have a Joe Burrow throwing him the ball. The play calling will fail to utilize him, and he'll end up counting down the days till he can escape. I'm going to start with this one, and I am going to spit once again. I think the Browns will utilize the passing game if we have a passing game, and we need to. We have to draft a wide receiver early. I don't know if it's 13. I don't know if you need to trade back, but I like the idea of doing that. I think there's a lot of great names, so I support that, and I think a wide receiver will be very happy here and will be a big part of the offense once he develops into his role, which could be a little bit challenging because sometimes rookies struggle early on, but I think he'll be a great Brown for many years to come. That's what I'm looking for. Roger.
I'm also spitting on it. Because you know what, for this system to work, they need a wide receiver in it that can stretch the field, that can, draw the double coverage, that can. No wide receiver is going to have, just outrageous numbers in this system, but they are paramount for this system to function properly. Without that threat, without those players, and the whole Joe Burrow and we don't have somebody to throw to him. That's bullshit. We've seen Baker Mayfield at his best. We've seen him at his worst. If Baker Mayfield can get into the middle there somewhere, a little bit above where he was his best and his worst, he can win football games. And a wide receiver, he needs our wide receivers were miserable this year. They were absolutely miserable. Absolutely. Even if he could throw it to him with that shoulder.
The wide receivers on the Cleveland Browns were almost as bad as this episode of the Dawg Chug. Jesus, no offense, Eric.
This is a good episode.
Thank you.
Just the best episode yet.
Before the part 2 came on. I don't know if you caught earlier on. Anyway, Eric, how would you answer this one?
Drafting a wide receiver at 13?
Would it be a mistake because he'd be unhappy?
No way. I mean, I'm not going into this season with maybe Hollywood Higgins. He probably won't be here. I mean, Anthony Schwartz, that's a project. I mean, what does any team fear our wide receivers right now? Landry will probably be gone. So, I mean, you got DPJ, Schwartz, and some guys off the street. I mean, you got to get somebody in here. I mean, the reason why the Browns offense isn't flourishing, so, there's a lot of things I could go into, but our wide receivers get no separation. They're not afraid of them. They're not afraid of our wide receivers. You knew that in the Super Bowl, that Kupp was getting the ball. He's getting the ball, and that's it. Who's going to get the ball if Landry's not here? We have nobody. We had no one that's big, physical. And they were talking about Njoku. I know he's a tight end and all, but he might not be around either. So what are you going to do about that? We need a big threat now.
What it does, it frees up a defensive player. You don't have to double coverage anybody. You don't have to worry about putting somebody over the top, and the defense automatically can send somebody else down into the box, stuff the run, and play the run against Chubb and Hunt. You need a wide receiver that can stretch the field, that can go across the middle, and that can catch the fucking football.
And those guys are out there. So we're going to move on to question number 3. We're 29 short weeks until the season, and throughout the offseason, Browns fans will remain skeptical of the season, of the 2022 season, and you won't see the excitement that we had in 2021. Roger, we're going to start with you.
I'm chugging on that. I don't want to see anybody with pom-poms. I don't want to see all the, you know what? I'm not skeptical, but let's just rein it in a little bit and be positive, be positive without all the over the top nonsense sometimes, let's just be positive and support our football team. I'm not going to be skeptical. I'm not going to be a downer, but let's let them see. I want to see them do the work. They got to put the work in.
All right. Eric?
I agree. We'll see, put the work in. I think that it should get off of social media. I think part of the problem is that, Baker and these guys, I'm not hating on Baker or these guys, but they're letting their wives and their family interact with fans. So for a team that says, we don't listen to the outside noise, they're listening to the outside noise. They should get off social media, focus in on themselves, and put their best foot forward. That's what I think going into this next season. My expectations, hey, listen, this past year was terrible. I thought Super Bowl, Super Browns. And for this year, I'm a little down right now, but, as soon as training camp comes around the corner, I'm like a moth to the light. I'm just going to keep walking and following it. I don't know why. I just do. That's what a Browns fan does. Resilient. You get slapped in the face, and for some reason you like it. You keep coming back for more. So I'm going to be excited, and, that's my answer right there. Just,
all right.
I
am also going to chug on this one.
Oh, I forgot. I got to chug my beer.
Yeah, you're behind one. There you go.
I believe that Browns, the narrative of Cleveland fans for the most part is going to continue to be skeptical. I think we're not going to get a lot of super excitement about this season throughout the offseason. It'll kind of be like 2020. We hired Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry.
Can I cut in for a second?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we're talking about that, your points there about this upcoming season. Do you think the Browns are going to get any primetime games because of their failures last year? We have Tampa Bay at home.
We'll
stuff like
have
that.
Like two primetime games. You get the Thursday night game, and then they'll throw us the Sunday or Monday night game.
Yeah, Sunday night for the good teams, though. Okay. Sorry. Yep.
No worries. So, I think it'll be similar to 2020. There was a quiet confidence, I think, that the team was being run well that offseason, but there wasn't this overwhelming, the Browns are going to be great, and then they turned out to be great. Obviously, the script was flipped this past year. I think we're going to be more like 2020. A lot of people on Twitter are going to be, whining the Browns are going to be very good. I think they will be, but there will be a lot
What's very good, though? Like 10 wins? What's very good?
I want to win the division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. Because from 1990 on, the Steelers have had a better record than the Browns. That is embarrassing.
That's very embarrassing. I want that to end.
I'm a kind of fan that enjoys the ride. I just let's win the division first. I said that all last year. Everybody Super Bowl, Super Browns. Let's win the fucking division first.
Give me a home playoff game, please.
Yeah, that would be amazing. How much fun would that be? That would be more fun than May 14th.
People were.
You're right. You're right.
we were inducting players into the Hall of Fame in August.
Imagine what a home tailgate would be like. The
it
playoff
would be
game.
the craziest thing. Yeah, mind blowing.
Wow.
All right. Well, that is the end of Spit Sip Chug. We do have another game we're going to play, which should be fun.
You guys are very tempting here.
Yeah, I know you probably. Let's see here. Don't know a ton about Ed. He's a diva. He likes to talk about himself.
Is he all about himself?
He is all about himself.
Okay. I mean, I see this. I've been tuning in every week, and it's like you're trying to give the guy a makeover. Is he trying to improve his image?
No, I'm just joking with him. This is supposed to be the year of Ed.
He's great. We like to give him a hard time. Ed's awesome, man.
He seems funny.
Awesome.
He is very funny. Absolutely.
He's awesome. So we give him a hard time because he loves himself so much. He's an easy target to pick on.
Oh, okay. Hey,
but it's all.
I can't wait to meet all these guys.
It's so much brotherly love, though. Here he goes.
All right.
So, I think this is just audio for some reason this time, but I asked Ed to pick between two people. Do you like person A better or person B better? I'm going to pause it and I'm going to go to you, and you're going to guess who did Ed choose? We're going to ask 5 of these questions. If you get 3 right, you are going to win. And I think we have 2 winners so far. For the month of February, we're going to draw a name who is going to win a Dawg Chug t-shirt that we still haven't even had made yet. So
one size fits all?
I'm
kidding.
We'll be able to. We don't even know yet. Oh, Ed in Columbus wants to come on. Let's see. Here he is. Ed?
Yes. I just want to give you a little tip here. I like nostalgia. I like history.
Don't help him out. This is
he doesn't.
All right. You got enough.
Get ready. Yeah.
We don't
pull a plug on that a lot.
Nostalgia. Cool.
All right. So we have 5 questions. We'll play the first one right now. And then I'm going to ask you, which did Ed think is the better? William Shatner or George Takei? All right. So we asked Ed, do you like William Shatner better or George Takei? Who do you think he picked?
Shatner.
And why?
Because Rescue 911 was classic, and he would probably flip out on that show.
All right, let's hear if he says William Shatner, and more importantly, if he mentions Rescue 911.
That's nostalgia.
I go William Shatner because that man, I love. Everybody loves him for Star Trek and everything, but Boston Legal was one of my favorite shows. And that guy keeps going on and on. He's going to space still. And that man, I don't think can be stopped. So, Shatner all the way.
All right. You are 1 and 0 right now. You're only 2 away from getting in the drawing. This is exciting.
Andy, have we had a guest get the first one out of the gate? I don't think we have.
Yeah, usually
Rescue 911 is so classic.
Hold on. Let's bring it on right now. Hold on. Ed? Why didn't you mention Rescue 911 and you only talked about Boston Legal?
Because I'm an idiot.
All right. Something we can all agree on. All right, let's move on to the second question.
Acceptance is half the battle, Ed.
No. All right, here we go. Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle? All right.
I know.
Dave Chappelle because unfiltered.
Dave Chappelle is your answer. Okay, let's see.
Unfiltered.
Dave Chappelle, Ohio guy. I have to go with him, and I love that movie Half Baked for obvious reasons.
Wow, you are doing perfect so far.
Wow.
3 more. You just have to get 1 right. This is.
I also picked that answer because Chappelle's under a lot of scrutiny because of his comments a few months ago. But he's a comedian, and he says things to get people laughing. He doesn't care what people think. And I don't know this Ed guy too well, but I don't think he cares what anyone thinks about him. So that's why I kind of correlate the 2 together.
So when I conceived this game, I tried to pick like a celebrity that was probably more established and then someone that was more controversial. My theory is that Ed's always going to pick the more controversial one. And that wasn't always true, but it is usually true. So I think I just gave you a clue. And let's see. Jessica just said, please save the I'm an idiot for future use. Yes, Ross, please pull that and add that to your soundboard.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you're 2-0. You just have to get one more right.
Oh
we need to put that on. We can put that on a loop.
Here we go.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Or Dolph Lundgren. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that. It was Mr. T and Dolph Lundgren.
How old is Ed?
Ed is 42, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Mr. T because I think he watched WrestleMania with Mr. T in it and A-Team in the 80s.
All right.
At the very end.
Pity the fool.
Let's see if you are right.
I'll pity the fool.
Yeah.
Bring the pain of Mr. T, even though, they both fought Rocky 3 versus Rocky 4. And obviously, I can't go with the Russian, even though I think he's Ukrainian. I think they're going to have a little skirmish right now. But got to go Mr. T. And loved it with your Christmas time, Nancy Reagan sat on his lap and he had all the gold on. So, one Mr. T because he's an American hero.
Okay, you win.
3 perfect. 3.
No one has ever done perfect except for Ed's wife, who it's all of Ed's questions right.
Well, she's yeah.
But let's see if you can stay perfect because we have 2 more and this is fun.
Oh, perfect. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Miz?
Well, Ed's from Columbus, right?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not from Columbus.
Yeah, well,
He's from North Olmsted.
Oh, see, I don't pay attention.
So he's from he's from North Olmsted. So he's talking about nostalgia. So the Miz, Stone Cold. Okay, if he's talking if you want to go with those facts about him, like nostalgia, then we could talk about stunning Steve Austin in WCW. So I would lean towards that because the only reason he would pick the Miz is because he's local, and that's not cutting it. So I think that nostalgia, vintage, stunning Steve before he became badass in WWF, I would say Stone Cold. I mean, it has to be. If we're staying with that course.
Let's find out if you're right.
Oh, the Miz, a Parma product. Got to go with my
Ed's 100% Cleveland, man.
Awesome.
He's a homer. He's a homer all the way down to his tighty whities, man.
At least I broke it down. At least I broke it down. The reason why I gave that decision, though,
it was an excellent. Your answer was excellent. I mean, you just didn't say,
All right.
Yeah, because he said nostalgia. Miz is just a local guy. He's never done anything in the
everything in your answer made sense. The thing that doesn't make sense is Ed.
Okay, you know what? Hey, can't figure them out sometimes.
All right, let's see if you can get the last one right and finish strong here. Johnny Manziel or Brandon Whedon?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I want to hear this one.
So the question is, who does he like better?
Who does he like more?
Who does he like more?
He's got like Brandon Whedon because Manziel trashed Cleveland. He talks bad about them. Ed's not gonna let someone degrade our city like that. I mean, he might like the party scene and all that stuff, but he was a complete asshole. He smacked around his girlfriend. I mean, he was just a complete scumbag, living off his parents' money. Didn't take anything seriously. Brandon Whedon was old in a rocking chair, and I get it, but he never caused harm to anybody.
Wow. I think what you're missing is
great answer.
Ed likes divas, but let's see.
Yeah. What is it, Ed?
Oh, well, we'll find out, right?
Hold on. Ross is we got it.
Yeah, where's Ross? He hasn't been on in a while.
Okay, here we go.
I love Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel. Now,
so you hang out with that guy.
I had to edit that way down because Ed likes to talk. So the question for you is, in answering that question, did Ed talk for more than 30 seconds or less than 30 seconds?
More than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like me. We can talk forever.
I had Johnny fever now. I do have a Brandon Whedon jersey. Came from China. It's turning yellow. But Manziel.
Was it from the Wuhan factory?
Johnny in the Orange and Brown scrimmage in Columbus in 2015. Nice guy. Oh, you know what he reminded me of?
Eddie Haskell on Leave It to Beaver because, unlike our current quarterback who has to fight with the media, Johnny would go party at night, say all the right things to Mrs. Cleaver. And, he's a nice guy, but obviously football skill-wise, he just wasn't there. But I love Johnny Manziel.
Wow,
He
that's
likes to talk.
Would you rock that jersey out in public?
A Johnny Manziel jersey? No.
Yeah, I'm not talking about your house or in your backyard. I'm like, yeah, rock a Manziel jersey.
He's going to be wearing it on March 14th.
March 14th.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
No. My point is this. Look, there's allegedly things that Johnny has done. Look, I don't support domestic abuse. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying.
I can't hear you. I got all this money in my phone. That was
funny. See that part about Johnny I love because I
think you like the pink swan. The pink swan's my favorite.
I got a challenge. But I told this to Andy. We're gonna do a Dawg Chug episode in June or July when the pool's open, and I'm gonna be drunk on a swan like Johnny.
Billy O'Block in Columbus.
Okay. Well, you won the game, thank God.
You won.
You didn't do very well.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are in the running to win a Dawg Chug T-shirt that you can use when you're painting. So anyway, fantastic job
on your oil.
Eric, we are so excited to come to your tailgate. I'm so sorry that I had to miss the last one. I did have a family thing going on with the neighbor's party. Could not get out of it. It would have killed me.
Family first.
Yeah, but I'm excited to come to this one, and everyone of our audience should come there. I just boosted your total audience by like 6 people.
I saw videos from it. Rich and Josh from the Danger Zone podcast and Nick Carnes. And I actually got a Danger Zone T-shirt from your event last year, but I wasn't popular enough on Twitter to be invited.
Oh, wow.
Well, a lot has changed since last year. Are you going to be doing another tailgate this offseason, or is it just going to be the one in May?
Well, there's actually 3.
Wow.
And the one in June is like a kickball event, and we're going to hang out with Nash Tailgaters for the charity event. Yeah, for the Jarvis Landry. If he's still here for that softball game, that's a big tailgate in Eastlake. But the big one is in August. So my friend's got this big tailgate called Dog Stock. And you ever see that movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes. Love
it. Party at the Moon Tower, full kegs, got to be there.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Okay, Wooderson, yeah. So, it's just like that, 24-hour tailgate in my friend's yard.
Wow.
Camp out. It's a tailgate, live music. There's beach volleyball. You want to pass on the sand.
I can bring my swan.
You can bring your swan. I mean, there's some catfish in there, but they'll leave you alone. But I'm serious. I've never been to a party like this in my life. I showed up there for the first time, and I was like, okay, this is epic. That's all I'm going to say. Think Dazed and Confused. That movie.
Okay.
So what happens at Dog Stock stays at Dog Stock, I guess.
Hey,
no names, please. Okay.
We love it. We cannot wait for that.
Cube, are you going to relentlessly DM me until I buy a ticket for these 3 things? Just let me know now.
Every single time. The thing is, people will say like, oh, I'm always like doing these things, but this is for charity. And, the thing I learned in life, people are lazy. Okay. People are freaking lazy.
Yeah.
If you want to get stuff done, you got to be borderline annoying, not too over the top,
You
nonchalantly do things because
it sounds like I'd be good at it then.
Yeah.
You did a great job at borderline annoying, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you that, yeah. But like with this if you notice the last couple of weeks I calmed down a little bit because
you settled down, I know. Yeah.
I wanted a break because I don't want to be on my phone all the time. It's annoying. But like it took 15 days to raise $2,000 to come up with the cost of the tailgate. Now all the money going forward will go to the rescue. So I'm give them a big check of $3,000. So I wanted to get the cost down because that's the biggest thing. It's like you have a party, but it's like Dre and them guys say everyone's got their cups, but no one chipped in, right?
Chipped in, right? That's right, brother.
These kind of things happen all the time, right? I got it.
I did
all the legwork and I got the cost down. It's all set. So now I just got to get people to come and party, and all that money forward will go to the rescue. I don't have to worry about the cost because the cost is always like the back of your head. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, when we do a Dawg Chug fundraiser charity thing, you're in charge. That's what we've already discussed it. You got the job. because you're
thanks.
doing awesome. You do an awesome job. You do an awesome job, and
no, you guys do an awesome job. I like this show because there's lots of podcasts out there, and this one's pretty cool too because like it's you can be borderline, yourself. You got it. I was like, oh, cool, I can swear. No repercussions.
No repercussions.
No repercussions.
And you guys, the peer pressure was crazy. Then I'm like, what are you drinking? I'm like, oh, water. I'm like, you know what? I'll suck it up.
Yeah, we're sponsored by AA. We said,
yeah,
Alcoholics Anonymous is one of our backers.
Well, we cannot wait for the May 14th event. That's going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it. I just want to get out of my house at this point and go hang out.
It's from 10. It's from 10 a.m. to 10, so you can be there all day.
So get out of your fucking houses, everybody, and go party.
Right.
Complimentary beer. You don't have to bring anything.
Well, you better.
I would because if it's a tailgate, they're gonna go through this stuff.
How much beer does each person complimentary get? Is it unlimited or is there a limit?
Well, okay. Let me rephrase that before people start demanding answers now. Let's see. At a typical tailgate, people are drinking 4 to 5. I'd say equivalent of a 6-pack or so because. I mean, if people are, it is a charity event. I would say it's PG-17 or something like that. There, I mean, I'm gonna have kids there too, so it's not gonna be like dog stock, which is gonna be full throttle mayhem. But there's gonna be. I would bring beer too, but I'm gonna have enough beer for everybody. But I mean, if you're looking to have like a 30 rack of Busch for yourself, then I
get drunk after 1, so I'm drunk after.
Oh, you're a cheap date.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a cheap date.
If Ed drinks 1 and I drink 29, are we good?
You're good. Just don't. Keep.
You're my tag team partner, Andy.
If you guys go walk off in the woods, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna judge you guys till later.
It's not Brokeback Mountain style.
Hey, I'll keep them in line and make sure they conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Roger's a plumber.
I don't mind people getting hammered, but the one rule at my tailgates, for everybody, just don't throw up. Go if you want to throw up, at least do it over in a behind a car. Don't do it like it's Niagara Falls and spraying everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I went to OU and I'm a professional, so you will not have to worry about me.
I'm an adult, so you don't have to worry about me.
Okay, I never know.
All right. Well, it's getting late, so I think we need to end this one so our audience doesn't have to suffer too much. But this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining us, playing your game, Spit, Sip, Chug. I'm so excited about your tailgate. Sounds like it's going to be so much fun. I love the cause. Anything that helps out animals is fantastic.
You know what the thing is? I want to leave off before I take off and finish this beer. The reason why we put so much effort into our tailgates is that we don't expect the Browns to win, so at least we're going to eat good.
There you go.
Love
Something's got to come out of it. Hey, when we retweet this show tomorrow, you go ahead and retweet it. Put down your information and your May 14th event, and feel free to jump on it, and we'll try to get it out as much as we can.
Yeah, if you guys ever want me on the show again, I'll be, you
did an awesome job tonight. You did an awesome job tonight, man. Really. A lot of times we don't know what the guest's going to be like going in because, it's Twitter. We really don't know people.
Yeah.
You did a really good job tonight, Q.
Yeah, if you want someone to talk, I'll talk.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be on the list of guys that come back. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hey, take care, guys.
Take care.
Go Browns.